Hey guys, Daniel here and welcome back to another video. Here today, I thought I'd sit down and do a full fundamental analysis on Bigg Digital Assets. This is a company playing in the cryptocurrency industry, and a lot of people down in the comment section and a lot of my followers have asked me to take a look at it. So here I am today. We're going to go through exactly what the company is, my opinions on the stock, and other things along those lines. So if you enjoy these analysis videos, make sure to hit that like button. And if you have a company you want me to take a look at and analyze, make sure to drop the name in the comments section down below. Now, when we look at an overview of what we're going to be going through in this video, first, we're going to cover the business and the financials, going through exactly what Bigg is, how they make money, what they are, and how that translates into their balance sheet. Next, we're going to go through the company's valuation and compare that valuation to other companies within their sector. Lastly, we're going to go through what I'm doing, if I'm buying, selling, holding, and my plans for Bigg going forwards. So again, if you enjoy these videos, make sure to hit that like button and let's get into it. First thing to understand about Bigg here, they're a Canadian company that operates inside of Canada. So when they report all of their numbers, they're all expressed in Canadian dollars. Now, this does not mean they're solely listed on the Canadian exchange. If you want to buy Bigg in American dollars, they are listed on the OTC exchange under ticker symbol BBKCF. But if you're Canadian and want to buy the stock in Canadian dollars, the ticker symbol is BIGG.CN. So when we're looking at all of the balance sheet, income statements, and projections, they're all valued in Canadian dollars. And I'm going to use the Canadian stock to essentially value the company. But all of the metrics, like the price to sales ratio, do translate into essentially comparisons with all companies across the board. So no need to worry about that. Now let's get into actually what the company is and does. When we look at Bigg, they have two main revenue generating sources, two main segments: Blockchain Intelligence Group and Netcoins. These are two separate businesses that do two separate things. So we're going to cover each of these separately. First, we're going to look at Blockchain Intelligence Group. Now, what is Blockchain Intelligence Group? This is essentially a segment, or I guess you could call it a company that really focuses in on the security of cryptocurrencies across the board. They work to really try and create a much safer environment within the cryptocurrency industry to prevent fraudulent activity and fraudulence within the cryptocurrency system. So when we talk about potential regulation within the cryptocurrency system, Blockchain Intelligence Group is one of the companies at the forefront of regulation and making the cryptocurrency industry a much safer place. And they do this through two main products/services. Number one is Clue. Now, what is Clue? Clue allows you to essentially track essentially the path that cryptocurrencies take throughout the blockchain. So let's say you have a certain Bitcoin, right? And this Bitcoin was obtained through fraudulence. It's a fraudulent Bitcoin. It's essentially money obtained through fraudulence. What Clue allows you to do is track exactly where that Bitcoin went, the path that it took, and where it is now. A lot of these essentially cryptocurrencies obtained through fraudulence actually sit in wallets, in online wallets, for an extended amount of time. So using Clue, you're able to track that Bitcoin or that Ethereum or that cryptocurrency. You're essentially able to track down fraud within the system. So when we look at Clue, this is mainly used through government officers, police officers, things along those lines, and it really helps track down fraudulent activity. Now, when we look at their second business, this is BitRank Verified, and this is built on top of Clue to give retailers and audit firms and whatnot a good idea of the risk-reward ratio, or I guess just high risk to fair risk ratio of certain Bitcoin addresses or certain things within the Bitcoin system. So let's say you have a Bitcoin address that is linked to fraud, right? There is essentially evidence of fraud being done within that Bitcoin address. What BitRank Verified will tell you is, all right, we know that there has been fraud associated with this Bitcoin address, so if you want, you can take that risk, but keep in mind, there is fraud associated with that, and that will obviously show up on this 0 to 100 scoreboard. So this is more of that retailer kind of product where someone can actually go and see the safety or either the risk associated with sending money to a certain address, and this really helps, again, create that much safer environment when it comes to the cryptocurrency industry. Next here, I want to talk about Netcoins. Netcoins is the second, and to be completely honest, the main segment of Bigg's essentially business model. What Netcoin is a cryptocurrency brokerage where someone can go log into Netcoins and buy up to 7 different cryptocurrencies. And when we look at Netcoins, they are solely based in Canada right now, so they are not available in the United States or any other country, solely Canada. And in my opinion, I think international expansion could potentially come and be a big growth driver for the company going forwards. But here are a few points of mine on Netcoins. They offer 7 different cryptocurrencies. Their platform is very, very modern. I mean, it is very aesthetically pleasing. Props to whoever made the website and the team behind that, as it is very seamless and it makes the process of buying cryptocurrencies very seamless and easy. So very good on that part, and it's very good with attracting customers. Now, they make money off of each transaction. That's how they generate revenue. Currently, this number sits at a little over 1%. So, for every $100 transacted on the Netcoins platform, essentially Netcoins collects right around $1, a little over $1 in revenue, right? So, the more people transact, the more money Netcoins make. So, this is why they benefit off of these high volume days. When Bitcoin falls 10, 20%, everyone's buying, selling, depositing money. Those are the best days for a company like Netcoins. Again, currently they're only in Canada, but there is a path to international expansion at some point in the future. They're growing very, very rapidly. As the cryptocurrency industry continues to do well, Netcoins will do well alongside that. Now, when we look at the company's balance sheet, this is very important for me. Whenever buying into any company whatsoever, I need it to have a strong, good quality balance sheet. Currently, the company has $5.5 million in total current assets, with total liabilities sitting at $2.6 million. Now, this is as of September 30th, 2020. This is their latest quarterly report. Within the time of September 30th to now, they actually raised capital through diluting their stock. They raised right around $28 million in capital. So right now, their balance sheet sits at right around $33 million in current assets, and with that same liability of $2.6 million. So their balance sheet is phenomenal. There's no risk of bankruptcy in the near future given their cash position and their very low debt position. And there's nothing bad to say about this right here with their balance sheet. It's going to allow them to continue expanding and not have to worry about money. Next, I want to talk about the valuation. Obviously, whenever investing in a company, I need to have a clear picture of the valuation if it makes sense. So let's get into this. First thing I want to mention, a bet on Bigg is a bet on Netcoins. This is just what it goes down to. When we talk about the different revenues coming in for Bigg, a large majority is coming from Netcoins, and on top of that, the main growth driver at this moment in time is Netcoins. You'll see just in Q1 of 2021, the numbers that Netcoins put out just quarter over quarter, hundreds of percentage points. And when we're talking about a year-over-year comparison, it's thousands of percentage points. So, given the growth that Netcoins is experiencing, this will be the primal driver of growth for the remainder of the year. And although the blockchain intelligence group is a phenomenal story, phenomenal idea, and will continue to do well going forwards, currently the main driver of growth is Netcoins. I want to make that very clear. What we're going to do is value Netcoins as a business, add on a bit for blockchain intelligence group, and then come up with a proper valuation that way. So when we talk about, again, the revenue generating sources, only around $643,000 in revenue for Q3 of 2020. And again, we can't just look at this because their revenue has expanded significantly just in the past half year. But just generally speaking, what's grown that revenue is Netcoins, not blockchain intelligence group. So again, just really emphasizing that point that revenue is coming from Netcoins. So when we talk about their current valuation here, and this is very important because Yahoo Finance has it a little wrong, their fully diluted share count is 247 million shares. So adding on top of this, the recent capital raise that they just did, it isn't that simple. They didn't just raise money by selling shares. They actually included some warrants, but by doing the math, it's right around 268.4 million shares, not a $440 million market cap, which Yahoo Finance has, but a market cap closer to 767 million Canadian dollars. So obviously not a small company anymore like it was just a few months ago. $767 million market cap. Now let's value the business. What we're going to do here, The first thing we got to know is how much money they're making off of trading volume. How much money are they making off of $1 million in transactions? What we just found out is exactly how much money in revenue Netcoins did for Q1 of 2021, and we also found out exactly how much trading volume there was. So using this data, we can figure out that the percentage of revenue coming from these transactions is right around 1.28%. Now, the company doesn't give this, but the numbers that they do give allow us to get that number for ourselves. So using this 1.28% metric, this gives us a lot of clarity with some of the numbers that they reported. And one thing I want to touch on before we keep going here. BIGG has reported monthly numbers for January, February, and March. But what's interesting and a little bit sneaky is the fact that they reported different numbers every time. So one month they might report transaction volume, one month they might just report revenue, and one month they might just report percentages. So although this does make it a little non-clear when actually valuing the company, using the numbers we have and doing the math that I did, I was able to come up with exactly what their revenue and trading volume was for all of January, February, and March individually. First, let's look at January. They said that they did $81 million in trading volume in January. Using that 1.28%, though, we can figure out that they did right around $1 million in revenue for the month of January. We know that. Next, we have February. They reported $1.25 million in revenue, but they didn't report the amount in trading volume. But again, using that 1.28%, we can figure out that trading volume was right around $97 million. For March, they didn't report any numbers. All they gave us were percentages. But since we know January, February, and total Q1, we can figure out March trading volume and March revenue pretty easily. And what's interesting is that we saw a decline from February to March. And this explains why they didn't give us the outright numbers and they gave us just percentages, because if investors saw a decline month over month, that might have not been too good for the stock price. Now, what I'm going to do is put this all in a chart to really visualize this for you. We saw a phenomenal month in January. They did $1 million in revenue and $81 million in trading volume. Another phenomenal month in February, but in March, we saw a decline. Now, as an investor, this isn't the best thing to view, but with cryptocurrencies, you got to understand that BIGG has their best months when cryptocurrencies are going up, right? That's when everyone's trying to get in, they're buying, they're selling and whatnot. So in March, we actually had a stagnation of cryptocurrency prices, and that is probably why we also saw a bit of a decline in trading volume and revenue, although it was not that much. Again, you have to consider the fact that it did decline slightly. Now, I'm not bagging on Netcoins at all, but that is something to keep in mind because they didn't tell us this outright. They didn't want to tell us this, but using the math, we know there was a slight decline month over month. Now, for the month of April, this is going to be a better month. We just got an announcement a couple days ago that they did $23 million in trading volume in one day on April 20th. Now, you have to keep in mind, cryptocurrency brokerages, they do their best, or they have their best days when Bitcoin is most volatile. So on April 20th, that was the day that Bitcoin crashed 15-20%, which is why we saw a spike in trading volume. Now, this doesn't mean we're going to see $23 million in trading volume on a daily basis going forwards, but the benefits of these new registrations and new signups and this essentially spike in volume may lead to a much higher essentially floor when it comes to this trading volume, to where we might be seeing $5 million in average trading volume going forwards instead of the usual 2.5. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to project for April. I'm going to use optimistic numbers. I'm going to say, all right, let's assume that April is going to be a great month and that they do $150 million in trading volume. That's being optimistic, obviously, but I like to remain optimistic with my investments. And given this, let's just assume they do $150 million in trading volume. And also, what we're going to do is assume that they maintain that 1.28% percentage of each trading volume dollar going down to revenue, which gives us revenue of right around $1.92 million for the month of April. We annualize this, get a $23 million revenue run rate. Let's add $1 million from Clue and BitRank, which is essentially a little bit optimistic, but let's assume $1 million revenue run rate for Clue and BitRank, and we get a yearly revenue run rate of 24 million Canadian dollars. We take the market cap of $767 million, divide that by the revenue run rate, and we get a price to sales ratio of right around 31.2. And again, this is using slightly optimistic numbers. I don't think you can say I'm being pessimistic with these numbers. I'm assuming growth. That's what I'm assuming. If we're pricing in a little bit of growth into May and June, so be it. But currently, this company is trading at least at a price to sales ratio of 31.2. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this company and value it against Voyager Digital. This is another cryptocurrency brokerage, obviously just in the United States at this moment, but it's another cryptocurrency brokerage. Now, Big G has a current revenue run rate of $24 million. Divide that by the market cap of $767 million, and we get a price to sales ratio of 31.2. Now, Voyager Digital currently has a revenue run rate of $360 million. I'm using $30 million a month for the month of March, which is my projection. If we're pricing in a bit of growth into April, that's fine because we're using April numbers for Big, so same playing field. Current market cap for that one is $3.4 billion. That gives us a price to sales ratio of 8.68. Now, this is very interesting, guys. Bigg Digital is trading at a price to sales ratio of 31.2, while Voyager Digital is trading at a price to sales ratio of under 9. And you got to keep in mind that Big, their revenue actually decreased from February to March, while Voyager, on the other hand, grew their numbers significantly month over month and has experienced more growth from January to March. So using these numbers, I think it's pretty clear what my position is with Big, but I'm going to be completely honest here. I'm not going to bag on Big. I think they're going to do phenomenally throughout the rest of 2021, and as cryptocurrencies continue to do well, Big will do phenomenally alongside that. But you need to keep in mind that they are trading at a richer valuation. So if you're in this company, you're pricing in growth and you're expecting growth for the rest of 2021. As long as cryptocurrencies do well, I'm going to maintain this position. I'm going to really say it again. As long as cryptos do well, Big is going to do well as well. But you need to keep in mind that Voyager is trading 3 to 4 times cheaper. So what is my stance? For me, myself, I wouldn't have a Big position if I didn't have a Voyager position. I think this is almost like a Neo to Tesla type thing. I don't think you should hold Neo if you don't hold Tesla. I don't think you should hold Big if you don't hold Voyager. Why? Because of this massive valuation increase. Now again, if you're in Big, props to you. Phenomenal company, phenomenal idea. But you need to keep in mind that they're trading at a higher valuation and higher multiple, which could potentially mean sharper moves to both the upside and the downside. Anyways, guys, if you appreciate this video, make sure to hit that like button and drop a comment down below your thoughts on Big. I just think it's trading a little bit rich, but just generally speaking, it's got growth, it's got the business, it's got the idea. I like the company, but I don't like the valuation. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here and see you guys next time.